I hope you guys have a good day. Today, I'll be discussing on why vitality enhancement and stamina enhancement should be integrated into the player. After 2,000 hours in this game, doing a lot of solo, full clear, no death runs on difficulty 10, and doing a lot of public missions, I've come to the conclusion that vitality enhancement and stamina enhancement should be integrated to the player. Vitality enhancement, you have to rely on someone to bring it because if they do not bring it, you are taking more damage. A lot of the damage output towards the player is balanced around vitality enhancement. So if you're wearing light armor, armor rating 50, your leg damage you're taking is 106% leg damage. With vitality enhancement, your leg damage you are taking is 95% damage. There's a huge difference between those two numbers. Another example is chest damage. If you are wearing 150 armor rating, so medium padded, and you did not bring vitality enhancement, you are taking 75% damage. If you are wearing medium padded with vitality enhancement, you are taking 67% damage. Now, hopefully, you guys can understand on why vitality booster is a must bring and why vitality booster is quote unquote a meta booster. Same case can be said with stamina enhancement. Stamina enhancement is also a meta booster. It recovers your stamina faster and increases your stamina capacity, meaning you can create distance longer. These two are considered meta boosters, including Held Pod space optimization, restricting the creativity players can have when it comes to boosters. What I am suggesting is removing vitality enhancement and stamina enhancement as a booster, making it an integrated stat already, so you don't have to continuously balance vitality enhancement. If someone doesn't bring it, that means we take more damage. If someone does bring it, we are taking the normal damage. With this suggestion I'm making of removing vitality enhancement and making it integrated stat, there's no longer a need to balance around it because now it's part of the player stat. Same thing with stamina. Removing these two boosters will allow another two flex slots for other boosters, promoting more creativity on different loadouts and different builds. What Arrowhead wanted and Pilestat wanted last year is player creativity because they used to understand that player creativity breeds innovation and breeds funness into the game. What meta does is restricts the player creativity, which in turn restricts the fun. Vitality enhancement and stamina enhancement are a prime example of this. Because if you do not bring vitality enhancement, you will completely feel the difference on not bringing vitality enhancement. And if you not bring stamina enhancement, you will feel the difference. A lot of my solo runs, you guys notice, I bring vitality enhancement because I just like to kill things. So I want a little bit more health. But I can notice when I don't have stamina enhancement. I can notice when I don't have vitality enhancement. A lot of solo players who do a lot of solo runs, D10s, and no death them, they bring stamina or vitality because these two things, you can tell the difference when you don't bring them. They make that much big of a difference. But they're so big and such like a meta booster to bring, and you're balancing enemies around vitality. At this point, just make it a baseline stat so we can be more creative. If vitality enhancement and stamina enhancement were a baseline stat, you guys will see me bring motivational shock. Motivational shock, when equipped, is able to recover faster after being slowed by certain attacks. Meaning, if a hunter tongue attack hits me, I can recover faster from his acid slow attack. If a Bile Titan's acid spew, his radius gets bigger and his radius gets bigger and some of it hits me, I'm allowed to move faster because these slowed down attacks will just completely recover. And in public missions, right? There's no longer the need to bring these two boosters. Now you have two more flex slots, so you can bring muscle enhancements and motivational shock. These two together, you can almost W key a lot of issues you'll see in this game. Muscle enhancements allow you to traverse through tough terrain. Motivational shocks allows you to recover from slowed attacks. These two together are basically, you can W key through a lot of things, which in turn gives you a different option to play the game, a more creative option to play. You can bring armor. Say if you are a guy who likes to bring all sentries, so you're like some engineering type of guy, right? You bring in all sentries. Now you can bring armed resupply without feeling like you're not bringing like a meta booster. Now you're bringing armed resupply, so you can have 5 sentries. That is the sort of creativity that should be promoted with these sort of boosters. Imagine this sort of mission loadout between like your 4 other players or your 3 other players you are in a mission with. Someone's bringing Hellpot space optimization. Okay, that's fine. Next, you got armed resupply, motivational shock, muscle enhancement. That's a different way to play the game. That's an entirely different way to play the game. A fun way to play the game. And then in turn, let's say you have flight extraction as well. Now you're promoted to bring flight extraction because now you have 15 seconds cut off from your extraction time, which helps on a lot. These sort of suggestions is to create players who want to be creative into their boosters. Yes, I know you can still bring these other boosters and not really suffer, not really punish or suffer the player. But at some point you kind of are. If someone's not bringing stamina enhancement, we're punished because now we're slow. We're not slower, but now our capacity for our stamina is shortened. Our recovery for our stamina is slower. If someone's not bringing vitality enhancement, we are definitely punished because we take way more damage than we need to be. Taking 10% of extra damage is a lot in games. I know experimental infusion will still be brought, right, and Hellpot space optimization, but at least now, if these 2 are going to be the new meta boosters, at least there's 2 other flex spots. We don't have that. We don't have that right now. We have 3 meta boosters and 1 flex slot, and that 1 flex slot, most of the time, is always experimental infusion. Most of the time. Sometimes muscle enhancements as well. So I understand there'll be a new meta for boosters, but at least it will bring out another flex slot that will allow more booster creativity. And some people will even bring experimental infusion. They'll bring something else. What I'm suggesting is just allow players to be more creative and allows players a better chance at a fun gameplay loop than what we have right now. When it comes to boosters, I've always had this thought that vitality and stamina should just be integrated. Because why isn't at this point? You're balancing enemy damage. If someone doesn't bring vitality enhancement, we take more damage because you're balancing around vitality enhancement. If someone doesn't bring stamina enhancement, we can't recover our stamina fast enough, and we have a shorter stamina capacity. Punishing the players. These 2 boosters, if you don't bring them, punishes the player. Hellpot space optimization, not so much. It really doesn't punish you because you just call down a resupply. But for these 2 boosters, if you don't bring them, punishes you. Because they're a meta booster. All I'm suggesting at the end of the day is more creativity when it comes to the gameplay loop design of Helldivers 2. Because it could be creative. I see it. And Pilestat wanted this to be creative. Old Harrowhead wanted this to be creative. But now we unironically went into the booster meta where you're only going to see these 3 boosters people bring all the time. These 3. Vitality, stamina, and Hellpot space optimization. Maybe experimental infusion or muscle enhancement. Depends if it's a snow planet or not. With vitality and stamina enhancement out the way, at least you are entering 2 more flex boosters. So people will probably still bring Hellpot space optimization and experimental infusion. But now, at least someone can bring motivational shock or muscle enhancements or armed resupply. It will allow this better creativity.